Hi, this is Daniel from End Time Country Living, and wanted to show you guys a technique in preparing your garden beds to prevent a lot of weeds from coming up, along with your seeds that you plant or starts that you set out. So I'll show you kind of what I'm doing and how it might help you. So today I've been out here working on this bed here. It was kind of a real messy bed. I'd grown potatoes in it last year on the surface with added dirt and compost and rocks and sticks and all kinds of stuff on the top to keep the potatoes from coming through, or keep them covered. And after that it was kind of a big mess, so I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. Try to cover the potatoes with something that will decompose, like straw or something like that, or good compost, something that will break down and feed the soil and be something that you want to actually leave there, because removing it is a big problem. So I finally got this all cleaned up. Had to go ahead and just till it all after I raked it very well and scooped a bunch of material off. So after doing a full till on it, I then went and forked it a little bit in certain areas here just to see, alleviate some of the compaction caused by the tillage and to kind of see what was in the soil. There's a lot of small rocks and cobbly rocks, so a lot of it's just going to have to stay here and slowly work on it, because it's just too time consuming to go through, even 12 to 14 inches deep and clean out all the rocks out of there. It's a big job, but I continually work on it over time here. This is going to be dry beans, so I'm not anticipating any real problems with the roots. So if I change the crop to carrots or something like that, then yeah, I'll have to go through with a pick and get it down pretty deep. But for beans, they handle any rocks in the soil fairly well. So once I got that done, I added compost, and I used the cultivator fork to kind of go through and break it up and mix it in a little bit. Going to give that a try and see how that works. And then I made the bed, which is the process of taking either a string. I like to use a 200-foot tape measure on a reel. That works really well. You may have seen it in some of my other videos. With the stakes on the four corners, run it all back around to a perimeter of the tape measure there, so I have a nice bed perimeter there, so I can see exactly where my bed needs to be made. And then use just a garden rake to smooth it out and make it a nice. It looks a little bit raised at this point here, so got a little bit of sides on it, but it's nice uniform all the way down. This is about a 55-foot bed, 30 inches wide. So got that all prepared now. Now this is going to have a lot of weed seeds in it, just natively from being sawed before and weeds. So we got to start eliminating some of those weeds. So the next thing I'm going to do is to water the surface of the soil. I'm going to just get a watering wand and a hose with a water breaker on it and go over the surface of it, wet it down pretty good, and then I'm going to cover it with black plastic, some of the 6 mil stuff you see around on the other beds here. So I'm going to pull it out on the bed here and cover it and weight it down so it isn't going to go anywhere. And what that will do is create a nice warm, moist environment, which is what weed seeds like, or any seed really, to germinate. So that's will cause all the weed seeds to germinate. And then if depends on how soon I'm going to be able to plant in here. The soil is already at about 50, under the plastic is about 58 degrees. The general soil is about 55 right now, so it's still a little early to be planting the bean seeds. As soon as it hits 65 degrees and the nights are above 40 degrees, right now the nighttime low is about 40 to 45 or so, like that, in that range, somewhere up to 47, depends on the night, how clear it is. So it's warming up. It's warm enough at night to plant, but the soil temperature is not quite up to what I would like to see it at to get good germination. So if the weed seeds aren't killed off by the black plastic in time, I'll come through and just do a quick cultivation of them to kill off the weed seeds. Just use the rake and disturb the soil, or a hoe or something like that. Whatever you have works. A rake works really well. Just drag it along the surface there and scarf it up a little bit, and bury the little seedlings that are coming up. So it's going to be a process here. Thankfully, with beans, I can easily cultivate around them. I wouldn't want to do onions or anything that's, more than 2 rows in a bed here. I'm going to do two rows of beans. Works fairly well. I think about a foot apart. That's what did it last year here. So that worked really well. So anyway, that's manageable. There's still going to be a lot of weed seeds to deal with, but that will mitigate quite a few of them. So hope that helps you. So one of my favorite things to weigh down the black plastic with is bricks like these. Most of the time I can fit maybe 2 rocks in my hand, which doesn't work too, it's kind of time consuming. But I can stick up to 7 bricks on my arm here, maybe even 8 if I really pushed it. But allows me to grab a whole bunch, stack them up, and walk down the row and distribute them out. So I think that works pretty good. They're just about the right weight. Put them so that they're crosswise coming into the plastic the long way, rather than along the edge of it. Keeps it from pulling out quite so easily. So I always have, seems like there's plenty of bricks all the way around the property here, so plenty to use, and they're fairly inexpensive too. Alright, so that's the technique that's called stale seed bedding. A lot of farmers are using that right now to prep beds to eliminate the weed seeds. You can also flame weed it after you pull the plastic off to kill the weeds. That'd be another method if you have something like that or have invested in a flame weeder. So anyway, I hope that helps you out here on how to control your weeds. Alright, see you on the next video. God bless.